What is up, y'all? Week 8. God, I almost said 7. Is it week 8 or week 7?
Gosh darn it.
It's week 7. Look, now I'm as tall as you.
You think you're funny.
No, like chair-wise, bro.
Yeah, I understand.
What's up, y'all? Week 7 NFL. We're back. Thursday Night Football. New Orleans Saints versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Dome in New Orleans. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, one of the most iconic stadiums in the whole NFL. So many things have happened in that stadium, like college, NFL.
Dang right.
It's been crazy.
They use that stadium a lot, and I'll be bringing that up later. Go on.
All right, so we're going to give you our 3-man. Yes, we said 3-man because we both had a New Orleans Saint as our prop, which makes sense. This is a favorable game for the Saints players, and then we're going to give you one fantasy player each that we recommend you start. If your team sucks, sorry. If not, then you have options on your bench. We hope you have these players. I'll let EJ kick us off with his prop, and we'll go from there.
All right, guys. So for my prop, give me 1 second. I already know what it is. It's going to be Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. So I like this because he's had over 30 in his first 2 games. And I think Derek Carr's shoulder is a little messed up, and he doesn't throw the ball down the field too well because of his injury. So now he's starting to check it down because he's also a good and efficient quarterback, kind of like Kirk Cousins. He's not great, but he's good. And he's going to be checking it down to Kamara, who's a receiving threat. Also, with that being said, he's been targeted 8.3 times throughout his first 2 games. I 100% think Kamara's going to get over 28.5 receiving yards. Oh, yeah. He's been doing that easily in his first 2 games, and I think the Saints need to win this game after they come off a loss to the Texans.
He hasn't dropped under 17 points in fantasy either.
I know. I tried to trade for him, man, so much.
Send me an offer then.
Nah, screw you. I tried to talk to you weeks ago.
I'm 6-0. Oh wait, yeah. I remember. Know. But now you see why I
You got your own forward. And another back.
I'm good. I like Kamara, and I got Derrick Henry now. I'm good. All right, for my prop, Rashid Shaheed, okay, over 34.5 receiving yards. Now, this prop looks like a trap for those of you guys that don't know NFL props at all. I get that. It does look like a trap, but his last 3 out of 4 games, he's had 89 yards, 63 yards, and 85 yards. He had 0 against the Packers, but he only got targeted twice. And it was against the Packers.
That was a weird game.
That was a really weird game.
It was a 17-point lead.
Exactly. It was a really weird game. The Saints just looked off in all categories. But keep in mind, Rashid Shaheed is the 3rd-string receiver. Maybe 2nd string. I would still put Michael Thomas over him just because of who he is and his experience. But you're looking at a 2nd to 3rd string receiver getting 89 yards, 63 yards, and 85 yards. Okay? That's pretty good, man.
He gets open pretty well.
And with Olave is questionable, and Michael Thomas is getting lack of looks from Carr because every defense is focusing on Thomas for some weird reason. I don't know why. But they're focusing on Thomas. And Shaheed is always open. He's always down the field open with their 3rd-string corner or their not-so-good coverage guy on like defense. Expect him to pounce. Jags' pass defense is ranked 22nd, and this will open him up. Saints are in a must-win because of how their division is going. Jags have been too hot recently. They are due for a loss. They're going to get caught off guard. Take this prop with a confident, and I'll let EJ share our 3rd prop, which we agreed on.
Yes. They do some studying on it, but back to that other prop. I like the Rashid Shaheed. I had to text him and ask him, yo, what team did you use when we were in the makes of this video? And I did look at that Shaheed thing, and I was like, man, all right, well, he got the Shaheed and the Saints, so I'm going to have to go Jags. But we didn't go that way. Here's our 3rd. We discussed it, and this one makes the most sense. It is Brandon McManus over 1.5 field goals. All right? He's had 3 the last 2 games, and you'll see in my score prediction, and I don't know about Seb's score prediction.
Yeah, I have it going 3. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I have it being 2 field goals with the Jags, and I also have the Saints making 2 field goals. So I have each team making 2 field goals with my total score prediction. So it makes the most sense. Like I said, 3 field goals the last 2 games, and I have 2 field goals in my score prediction. I think 2 field goals happen today, and I'm going with the Jags guy.
Also, to back up that prop, the Saints have top 12 red zone defense.
Yeah, their defense is great. They
Exactly.
just have a great defense.
In the red zone, though, they're stopping teams on like third down.
Well, they never let a team go over 20 points once
Exactly.
this year.
So listen, this prop might pay off. I think the Jags are gonna kick at least 3 for this game. They're gonna have to. So I like that. Put our 3-man together. Let's hope it hits like this time. Last week I sold us. I'll take the blame for this one. I sold us
We sold on Monday night
very
together,
badly.
so it's okay.
I sold our Sunday picks very badly. All those picks looked like eye candy at first, and then I realized I messed up. So, but these props we feel confident about. Take them with ease. My fantasy player, Alvin Kamara, backing up his prop. Okay, he is RB1 this week without a doubt. And the Jags are ranked 14 versus the rush. That's decent. Now, Kamara has yet to go under 17 points in fantasy football. He's only played 3 games this year. And with him having 17.4 as his lowest on a Houston defense that's very talented up front, Saints have been struggling to pass the ball, and Jags have been good versus the rush, but they have yet to play a dynamic back like Kamara this season. They have not played a good running back yet. Expect Kamara to break out in this game.
I like that. I think that's a pretty good play right there. Kamara's always safe. Like I said, he gets 8.3 targets. Catches 4 of those. That's 4 fantasy points before he even does anything with it. But my fantasy player will be Chris Olave. All right? He is due for a big game. I know he has a toe injury, but I'm manifesting this to happen because he's been snapping. All right? He's on your team, so it'll benefit you too.
Do I bench him?
I mean, I wouldn't bench him. He has only scored under 9 points once this season.
I hate money.
All right? He's only scored under 10 points twice this season. And, not to mention, he also is playing the Jags defense, who Seb said is weak. 22nd in overall against the pass. But in the yardage department, he's allowed, the Jags have allowed the 2nd most passing yards in the league. So overall, they're the 22nd ranked defense against the pass. But in the yardage department, they're the 2nd worst, and they allow 270 yards per game. That's a decent amount. So I think Chris Olave has a good game. Okay. You mentioned Michael Thomas. He hasn't had much success. Chris Olave is my fantasy play. If Chris Olave doesn't play, then if I were to go with the Saints receiver, I'd probably go Rashid Shaheed because I think Tyson Campbell's pretty good even though he's banged up. And if you don't want that guy, Christian Kirk.
I put in a claim for him earlier, so let's hope I get him tomorrow.
I haven't put my claims in yet. That's going to...
Oh, yeah. I put one in for Rashid Shaheed at 7 a.m.
Okay.
So, I hope I get Rashid Shaheed, especially since I'm 2-4. But anyways, let's go to our score prediction. It's fine. In the other leagues, I'm great. I'm gonna win Chris's league this year. Easy. Hands down. Unless I see you in the playoffs. But, alright, going to my score prediction. Saints versus Jags. I got the Saints winning this one, 24-21, man. I know.
Let's give them the score.
I know it's gonna be like, why are you picking the Saints? Well, game is in the dome, okay? And Jags struggle on short weeks very badly. Doug Peterson also has struggled versus Saints in his career. He is 0-2 versus Saints, and his teams have been outscored by 47 points by the Saints in his 2 losses. In the respective 48-7 loss and 20-14 losses, both coming when he was coaching the Birds.
Yeah, I made a face when you said that he's 0-2 against the Saints because all I picture is Alshon Jeffrey.
Exactly. So
in the playoffs, dropping the ball.
Yeah, so the 20-14 game came in the playoffs. Okay, the Jacksonville Jaguars enter Thursday night's bout with New Orleans just 6-9 on Thursday night football games. Okay, all time. Trevor is 1-1 on Thursday night games, and he's been held without a passing touchdown on Thursday night games as well. I think that's right. I'll double check, but it said it on the article I read. But rushing for a score in each contest. So he rushes, but hasn't scored a pass touchdown on Thursday night games. Saints are currently third in a division where they were picked to win the division this year. They need this one. With the Falcons and the Bucks losing last week, the Saints need to take a step in the right direction. So Saints take the upset, 24-21.
Nice. All right. So takes me to my score prediction. Playbook we had to trash earlier, but might make a comeback. I got, like I said, 2 field goals from both teams equals total score of 23-20 Saints. All right.
Okay.
The Saints are.
We both have the Saints winning.
Yes. The Saints are 1-4 against the spread this year, and they're -2.5. So I got them kind of beating that finally. I think they'll break that trend. Also, both teams are banged up, so you got to pay attention with the injury report. The linemen on each team that is the highest grade by Pro Football Focus are banged up. Brandon Sheriff for the Jags and Ryan Ramczyk for the Saints.
Ouch,
both of them,
hurt.
yeah, they're both big, 100%. Also, both quarterbacks are banged up. Trevor Lawrence didn't practice on Monday. He's got a little bit of a knee problem from the game on Sunday against the Colts. But I think he will play. He hasn't missed a game his whole career. Carr, we all know, hurt his shoulder. AC joint a couple weeks ago. Hasn't really been the same. Can't really throw the ball downfield efficiently. But he is going to be getting the job done for me with the Saints winning 23-20. Another thing, though, the Jags haven't beaten the Saints since 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Damn. Okay.
They've losing four straight in this matchup. So
Okay.
I think Jags never lost. Also, Jags have always lost in recent memory, but Trevor Lawrence has also never won a game in this stadium. He lost twice.
You're right, against
in college.
Yeah, over
Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He lost in the Dome. So he also can't beat the Texans. So I think Trevor Lawrence banged up, might miss his first game, can't beat the Texans. Jags can't beat the Saints. He can't win in that Dome. I just don't think
it's looking
he can
like the
break
Saints
that.
are going to win this game with everything.
That's what it looks like when I look at it like that, and I feel like Trevor Lawrence can have that little mental hiccup. But the Jags, they allow also the second most passing yards, like I said, 270.
That's tough.
And the Saints defense has only allowed over 20 points once this season. Okay? That's pretty big.
They've also only scored over 20 points once this season.
That is true. But this is what made me go the Saints, even though I was thinking Jags. The Jags got outgained by 100 yards last week, okay? But the Colts had 4 turnovers. Saints ain't going to turn over the ball like that, I don't think, unless Derek Carr has a horrible game, but I think he's been pretty good, and he's a game manager, and I think the Saints just play disciplined football.
Especially if Trevor's hurt, Cam Jordan's going to have a great game. So.
Exactly. And Brandon Sheriff, the lineman on the Jags, they might take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Also, the Saints allow under 100 rushing yards a game with 96. That's pretty good. The Jags' bread and butter these last 3 weeks when they're on the 3-game win streak and averaging 28 points per game has been the run game.
Yes, it has.
And the Saints can stop the run. So I think the Saints defense will stop the run, and their offense won't turn the ball over, and ultimately that will take the Jags with another one in a losing column. And I got the Saints winning 23-20.
You heard it here first. We think the Saints will win this game. We both think that, and it's been.
Don't sell us, Derek Carr.
Yeah, we were sold last night with the Cowboys. Well, I was sold with the Cowboys.
I went Cowboys. Not happy about it, but
I was. Yeah, it was not pretty. I'm very upset with Justin Herbert and that whole Chargers team. I'm never picking them to win another game this year.
That game was horrible.
Yeah, I stayed up for it though.
Well,
like I said, I stayed up.
Stevie,
yeah.
Shout out to my boy.
Hey, he got one thing on you though. JETS. Jets.
Goodbye.
We'll see y'all on the next one, man.
Yeah.